carried a gun. Well, they better carry a gun. And we better support them. All of them. Those who are on our side. We have to have a unity of purpose. And the purpose is liberation, and liberation at all costs. And if you're not ready for that, let's just go home, because we missed the boat. So other people are going to tell you about details about the movement. Remember that we all are what we do. I am not on the side of 90% of the elected officials, those of color and those without color. I have no unity of purpose with them. And until we say we understand who is on our side and who is the enemy, we're going to be dead. No people can be oppressed without the connivance of their own. Learn who the connivers are and fight against them. Thank you.
Well, let's just go back in time. Remember 11-year-old Clifford Glover, who was shot in the back? Remember Eleanor Bumpers, a senior citizen who was blown away by a shotgun blast? Remember the cop who just shot a teenager? He said that he had a seizure. Remember Michael Stewart, who was beaten so bad on 14th Street in Union Square? They left part of his brains on the sidewalk. And if these cops unacquitted or not even declared culpable or guilty, all they can do is go upstate New York and they are acquitted by an all-white jury. That is up-south justice. And talking about Harlem's Miss Leadership class, the worst of them is Al Sharpton. The worst of them, Al Sharpton. And for these so-called leftists or progressives who want to appear in his videotapes or his documentary and flock up there to that nest of betrayal, then don't tell us about your revolutionary fervor. He's a collaborator. He is not only the leader of a Miss Leadership class in New York City, he is part and responsible for the daily deadly assaults against our people every day. This is the man who parades Barack Obama to Kelly to Bloomberg at any given moment that they send a message to him. Boy, this is what we need you to do. And he is there to do it. And we have to call out the Sharptons. We have to call out the Black Miss Leadership class. We have to call out the apologists like Bill Fletcher, who still apologizes for Barack Obama. And he has the nerve to say, well, what did you people expect? Did you think he was going to be a revolutionary? Yeah. No, we didn't expect that. But what we expected you to do as a progressive was to give an analysis and critical thinking that he turned out to be, that he would be the fake and the agent of U.S. imperialism as he has turned out to be. That was the responsibility of the left. That was the responsibility of the progressive movement. That is what O'Malley has been talking about. That is what Diop has been talking about. And that's what we were talking about in 2007, 2008, and 2009. Because there could be no mistake about who this man was or whose interests he would serve, because he told us himself. He told us himself. So what was the confusion? But we needed the analysis, as we are getting here tonight, from a black is left mentality and analysis that we are going to have, including that of our next speaker, Betty Davis, who's going to talk about how they have, in fact, murdered us through the education of our children, the death of generations to come. She is with the new abolitionist movement, Betty Davis.
I appreciate all of you here, and I want to pick up on the brother who was talking about organizing. There were two of them. And first thing I want to say to you about education is there's not much to say except that cats don't educate mice, they eat them. And you could not go to Israel and say to Israel, would you please let Assata or a president of Iraq educate their children. And yet in America, we allow the fascists, the imperialists, the bankers to not only educate or miseducate our children, we allow them to take the budget. And I'm going to define what we mean by the budget. New York City's educational budget is the 23rd largest budget in the world.